Hello, humans. Welcome to Friday. Just setting up Instagram. All right. Hi, Facebook. Hey, Insta. Welcome to Money, Sex, and God. This is your opportunity. You've got 20 minutes to ask whatever questions arise around money, sex, and God. I will take them here. So whatever's arising for you, any questions, any challenges, any concerns coming up, and I'll just flow with whatever comes here for you. This is really your opportunity to get whatever support you desire around these very taboo topics, these places that we don't like to really address. So either Instagram or Facebook, come on and ask me whatever questions appear, and I will wait until questions appear. And I'll give you kind of what I've been flowing with in the meantime also, just because it's here. It's a full moon tonight. It's a Pisces full moon. I am a Pisces. So this time of year is always highly transformational. I usually, this time last year was huge. My entire life changed on the full moon. So I'm feeling it again today. I took a nap, which I don't usually take. I always bleed on the full moon. Anyone else bleed? Me and my sisters get their moon cycle right with the full moon. We're werewolves. And so I'm feeling just a lot of movement. It's delicious. So please let me know if any questions are coming up or struggles around this really transformational time with the full moon. One of the things that's been arising and just patterning and things that I've been noticing is that there's a lot of things that each of us separately are not good at, right? Like, I'm not the best at remembering to water my plants, right? I'm not the best at I'm sure I could think of other things. Even as a coach, right? There's parts of me that are not my strong suit. And this I really love about this full moon is it really gives us an opportunity to look at where we already naturally kick ass, right? I was with clients yesterday, and 2 hours as a couple, 2 hours, they were like literally fucking like this passion, this deep love, this intimacy between each other. The polarity had completely shifted. The strange energy that was very like yummy and safe had turned into sexy, right? Just recognizing like where your strengths are and what you're amazing at, and bringing that into everything, your business, your relationship. Like, what are you awesome at, right? Playing with that, lately in my consciousness with partnering and what that looks like. Recently I would say very consciously choosing to create a relationship with another person, and recognizing what that looks like in a very 3D human level, right? And how to play with that, and how I can bring my strengths of embodiment and sexuality and joy and pleasure and games and fun into everything, rather than looking at the relationship as a place where I need to find where I suck, right? Which I think people do a lot. Or going onto social media and finding where places in you that are maybe not your innate talents, and then you compare yourself to someone else, right? Or going into your relating with others and sexually, and finding, wow, I'm really not good at this one thing, and harping on that. I see this a lot with my clients. So rather than taking that route with it, can we find a sense of like celebration for what you're already naturally amazing at? Every single one of us has that. And if we look back to when we lived in community, right, it was like everything gets to be really brilliantly taken care of in that, which is just, there's a relaxation and an ease in that we can invite in. I know a lot of you that are watching are probably alpha women. I tend to attract alpha women, and we have this natural or conditioned reaction and response to just take everything. I was doing the interview yesterday with Emily Oram, and she said she's used to just emotionally managing until she snaps, right? Which is what alphas, that's the alpha dog style, right? We have to hold and lead everyone, and then we'll snap. And around this, just what's been coming up in the collective consciousness today is this ability to be held and bring our gifts into the community around us, whether it be online. It could be in the pleasure tribe if you're already in there and a part of that. People are adding their gifts to it, adding their desires in there, and creating this really beautiful communal aspect, which is the same thing that we do in sex. We say, here's a place that I can bring a gift to you. Here's where my gift is. And a lot of what sexy is just figuring out what the fuck your gift is. Like, what are you so great with, right? And recognizing places where you're like, that's not my gift. That's actually going to turn off my flow. And you can then choose to play the game of kicking ass at that gift and being really amazing at that gift, or you can choose to play the game of I just want to make this really easy and flowing and do where I know I'm gonna stay in flow sexually with you, right? So just some people on Insta. Yes, great, beautiful. Just some like musings from today. If anyone has any questions, I'll be on for another 10 minutes or so. Let me see if there's anything in the backlog. Sometimes you guys ask me questions and then I put it to answer here. So let me see. No, I don't think I have. one. This could be about just, the type of questions that work. Money, abundance, sex, sexuality, God or spirituality, nothingness, oneness, void, space, me, how I do life, me, whoever that is, anything like that. And I just want to mention also there's some things going on in the next week or so that are really brilliant and amazing for you if you're ready to kind of amp up your sexuality and bring your radiance to a new level and shift out of a fear-based paradigm of living with relating, moving into a fully expressed way of being with others and being with yourself. We've got two things going on. One of them is online. We've got the Self-Pleasure Challenge. I'll post the link for the Facebook group that you need to ask to be added to in order to get into the Self-Pleasure Challenge. Those of you on Instagram, check out my Facebook and you can get in there. The Self-Pleasure Challenge is a 5-day challenge. I'm going to be showing you, I'm demoing ways of touching the body, of being with your body. Each day is very different, and so that we can figure out what your nervous system needs in order to fully open to the present moment, which is love and pleasure, right? Like, what does the nervous system actually need to cultivate? What do we need to give it, and how can we nurture it? Which is really delicious. So you learn a lot about yourself, a lot about how to give yourself such sovereignty, right? This is for people that are single, people that are in relationship. This is for all genders, all ages, because we all need sovereignty. We all need to recognize what's in our energetic field, right? What's there. And so you want to come to that. It starts on the 23rd. It's free. And there's $2,500 worth of prizes. Not so bad, right? Not bad. And there's I think there's 1,000 of you in there by now. And then there is, let's see, what else is happening? Yes, next Friday, those of you in New York City, come to Ecstatic Dance Friday night. We're going to post the link probably tomorrow because there's one tonight happening. So tomorrow, we are going to bring sexy to Ecstatic Dance for the first time ever, which I'm really fucking excited about. So this is going to be how do you play with erotic energy on the dance floor? How do you make it safe in your body, safe for the people around you? Safe, what is safety, right? How do you fill yourself up so that your dance is about coming and finding where you want to grow? And then how do you give those gifts to someone else on the floor, right? How do you move around other people's nervous systems confidently and with ease and with an ability to kind of dissolve the mental chatter that comes up a lot when we're on a dance floor. So that's going to be really fucking hot. I'm really excited. I'm so grateful and so honored that Ecstatic Dance is bringing me in, and they're opening their minds and their bodies to eroticism is like, thanks guys. So I'm psyched. It's in Brooklyn. I'll post the link in a sec, probably tomorrow. So definitely make sure you show up. And I'm co-hosting with my dear, dear, dear friend Yulia, who's going to be leading a sound healing at the ending. We always get way packed, so make sure you definitely buy a ticket. It usually sells out, and there's a rooftop. It's just like the best place to be next Friday night for sure. Okay, I have a question here. Steve, hey Steve, thanks for coming on and asking a question. Steve says, I know I'm a dominant sexually, but I prefer my woman on top. I thought that would make me a sub. I'm confused. Help. Okay, I'll help you. First of all, what's the importance of being dominant? Like, do you need to know that you're dominant, or can you just kind of be, right? It's amazing. We have, and I do this, right? It's part of the human condition. We love to find labels. Like, this is my blueprint, and this is, I'm submissive, and I'm a woman, and I'm married, and I'm single, and I'm this, and I'm an ENFJ, and I'm a manifestor, right? Like, we label ourselves down to the bone. So Steve, doesn't super duper matter if you, what that means. And I will answer your questions around this. So submission and dominance has nothing to do with the physical being. I could dom all of you via this screen. I don't have to look at you, right? So it's not, and I could be submissive to all of you without even seeing you, just sensing your energy. True dominance and submission, the play of that comes way more from energetic attunement, or I just heard this word yesterday from my dear friend Michael Bates, energetic agility. Just such a brilliant expression. So it basically means, if you are dominant, Steve, the ability to witness your partner, right, where your partner is, and then be agile in providing for your partner enough tension for them to sink deeper into a surrender. So you see where they are, right? Or energetically you sense where they are. You like feel, okay, there's some tension around the heart space. It looks like they really want to be held, right? Like you can kind of be in that space around it. And then you give them force through your energy. It could be physical. It could be verbal force, like down or stop, right? Or it could be energy. So if you have someone on top of you, you mentioned women. So let's say, I'm gonna put myself in your shoes, Steve. So I have a woman on top of me, and I'm still desiring to be dominant. This is what I'm assuming from your question. If I have a woman on top of me and I'm desiring to be dominant, I could do that through my eye gaze. I could do that through the way that my eyes are watching her. I could make it a game in my mind where she's performing for me, right? Kind of like a stripper deal, right? I could also use my hands. So I could tie her hands behind her back, right? I could press down on her thighs physically. That's very dominant. I could place a hand on her chest and kind of give her pushback. I like to switch, and one of the things I love when I switch is to top first and then have my top me. And usually what happens is I'll be on top of them, and then we'll kind of wrestle, right? We'll wrestle until, boop, now I'm surrendered again, right? Which is really fun. So you can play in that. And you can also use words. So you can say things like good girl, dirty girl. You can use humiliation, right? You're mine, I own you, like however you want to go. Do you want to go into ownership? Do you want to go into control? You could say things like faster, slower, harder, softer, right? You can control what they're doing even if they're on top of you. So short, sweet summary of that channeling that just came through for you, Steve, is that you can be dominant through verbal cues. You could be dominant through physical touch, what you're doing with your body, and you can be dominant through energetic force, like a right at them, where it's literally coming from the cock energy and the throat energy, and you're kind of like penetrating outward, also the solar plexus, right? And you're holding all of that, and you feel really rooted, right? So kind of the masculine centers of the chakra system are gonna keep you feeling the most dominant and the most in control of your partner. So Steve, let me know if you have more questions around that. That it feels answered. And then I'm gonna look at Facebook and see if there's any other questions. Well, hi, Erin. Steve says, fantastic, thank you. Yeah, let me know if there's any follow-up questions left. Erin said, do you find abundance and connection in the money, sex, and God area is linked, that they all go up or go down together? Yeah, I do. I do. I like questions where it's already leaning toward like me saying yes. And you kind of already gave the answer. So thank you. Basically, the greater vibration that we can have in our nervous system, right? The more expansion that we can feel in our nervous system, the more that we can experience ourselves as simply like a God channel or a divinity channel, the greater amount of money that we're going to have, the ability to produce money, the ability to receive money, the ability to save money. Now, it's important with money that the channel that we're directing around money goes downward as well as upward, which is why sex is such a brilliant way to manifest money, because sex naturally has this like up and downward flow, right? Whereas certain things, like if you're doing certain yogas or even certain tantric practices where you're not you know, allowing for the full spectrum of sexuality to be present, the energy might just go up and out, right? And if the energy just goes up and out, money is going to do what? Up and out, right? So we want to play with the energy of money being up and out and giving, right? And giving of our passions and giving of our missions. I see this a lot in the spiritual community. We're like giving, and we're not allowing the money to come in and ground it down, which is, I just did an interview last Thursday with Sigourney Weldon all about anal play and the importance of bringing money in through anal play, right? Because you've got that downward current, that manifesting current that can hold the money and be with money. And the more money that you're holding, the more pleasure you can hold, and vice versa. So then your sex is going to increase, right? Your desire for sex, your experience in sex, and honestly, your ability to find everything as sex, right? To be in basically a constant state of sexuality and orgasm and flow, and bringing that all to the present moment. Thank you. This is a great question. People are saying things on Facebook. Love you guys. Okay, this feels like a good place to end. So I'm going to disappear, and I will be back next Friday at 3 o'clock. Ask any questions that appear when you're watching the replay, anything that's here, and I will kind of backlog them, and I'll answer them next week. And you can come on live with me as well to get any of your questions answered. All right, guys. Big love to you. Bye.